What's up, everybody? Welcome to Convict Inc. This is Rob. I did a little audio earlier, a couple hours ago. It'll be posted probably right before this. Anyway, and I decided to go ahead and get this out today. And this is in regards to a wine spot that was the best wine spot that I ever saw at USP Leavenworth. And this came up in conversation here between me and another guy. I guess it was last week. And we were talking about it, and I'm like, man, I know I said something, in some past videos or maybe one of my lives before, but I've got to do, just a video, audio video, whatever you want to call it, about this. So when I say wine spot, people say hooch, wine, Pruno, whatever. It's just homemade intoxicants. And, I've done too many years of my life in prison, and I've absolutely made a lot of different wine. I call it wine in prison. And it's as simple usually as water. Leavenworth tomato paste was the big one. So a can of tomato paste, 3 gallons of water. I think it was like 9-10 pounds of sugar. So the average was a pound to 2 pounds of sugar. I think it was. So let's see. I know in the whole it was 300 sugar packets to a gallon. And then each sugar package is a gram. You can make wine with as little as 100 sugar packets, but, if you had 300 sugar packets on top of a gallon of whatever, whether that be tomato paste, rice, any kind of fruit, apple, rice, rice isn't a fruit, but, orange juice or oranges, whatever, 300 packets was like the bomb. On the compound, when you had access, to sugar from the kitchen, it was pounds. I didn't make too much wine on the compound. Anyway, some of the common spots were, of course, a person's locker. There is a smell that goes with it, of course, usually after the second day. The general rule of thumb was we tried to get a batch off, a batch meaning get it from start to finish, with anywhere from 2 to 4 days. Some people that have done time will say, oh, you really let it go a week or whatever. I'm telling you, the quickest batch I've ever done is in 36 hours. It was straight potato and sugar only. Of course, it had the kicker of the yeast in it, but 36 hours and it was rocking. But usually it was with tomato paste, if you just put a batch up, it was actually about 72 hours. And there's a process of keeping it warm, which is unnecessary. But anyway, let me get back to the subject. So you have a locker, the pipe chases. If you can get into the pipe chases, that was a good place to keep batches of wine. I had a friend that actually made a key he was a locksmith, and he made a key, a makeshift key. Actually got hit with attempted escape. I've done something about that before. I will do it in the future again, since one of the guys that was involved in that escape I talked to. But that's down the road. Anyway, vents, air vents, inside of center block walls. One of the places out on the compound was we actually dug holes in the softball field, and then put bags of wine in the ground, and then put dirt right on top of it. We called it unearthing the wine. I remember me and one of my dudes, Dusty, made a big joke about that. Anyway, but the best spot by far, which is what this video is about, the best spot by far was in B lower, and this was in a cell. The cell was the two cellies. These guys worked at CMS, or the Construction Maintenance Service. I think that was the actual name, construction shop. Anyway, they worked out at CMS, and they had access to everything, all tools. They had access to pipes, whatever. They lived in B lower, and the cell, I'll tell you what cell, it was actually cell 2. It was either 256 or 258 in B lower. One of the guys' name was Bob. I do remember. I forgot the other one. And let me tell you first how it was caught. It was caught because they got so fucked up. They actually turned the wine into shine. They cooked it off. I won't get into that. They actually cooked it off into moonshine. They got alcohol poisoning. What happened was they probably cooked the stuff and didn't make alcohol. They probably made ethanol. And they got sick. One of them almost died. They both got alcohol poisoning, and they were both transferred. But anyway, they customized their cell. They had their cell totally hooked up, okay? And one of the things they did do is they had access to the pipe chase. Well, what they did was they went into their back of their cell, and they went into the plumbing, the sink area. They got PVC pipe, and they hooked it up to the sink. So in the back of this, there's a pipe chase where everything goes. So that, the back would be like all the water, the back of your sink, the back of your toilet, and they got a piece of PVC pipe. I think it was an inch, and then they, different sizes, and they actually shot it probably 2 stories or a story in the air. Let me say, these pipe chases, they're in the back of different cells. I think they went up 5 stories tall. I forgot, to be honest, but what they did was they actually poured the hooch as it was cooking inside of the PVC pipe and let it cook in the PVC pipe behind their cell. They waited, 3-4 days, whatever they waited, and then they simply turned their hot water on. They had wine on tap. So, best spot ever is these guys actually put wine, they hooked it up to their sink, and they hooked it up to the hot water. Of course, they had no hot water, but, I'd give up hot water, too, if I had wine on tap anytime I wanted. And like I said, they had access to that pipe chase, so they were constantly able to fill it up. And the PVC pipe went way up in the air, so how many gallons can you fit inside of an inch, PVC pipe that's an inch round? Of course, the back of it wasn't an inch. They probably had different, sizes where it went into a quarter inch or whatever goes into your sink. I don't know. But, they got caught. They ended up they passed out. It was during the lockdown. These 2 guys passed out. Staff came around and were doing count. They found them laid out on the floor. One of them, like I said, was almost dead. Rushed them out of there. And when we came off lockdown, they went and they gave somebody the cell. Guys, when 2 people leave a cell, people are like vultures trying to get the cell because it's an empty cell. They got the empty cell. They went in there, got everything hooked up. But when they went to turn their water on, they had no hot water. So they found out when staff or inmate, whoever went, I forgot who it was, but they went back there to go hook up their hot water, and there was no hot water. It wasn't hooked up. It was a PVC pipe that was empty because they drank all their booze, and they found out that they were making wine on tap. Anyway, best wine spot in United States Penitentiary Leavenworth, Kansas. That was in 1998, if not 1999. Again, it was 2 cellies. Bob was one of them. The guys were stone cold alcoholics, by the way. That's about it. So it's Thursday. OG Mike's getting these up tonight, he said. So like I said, I did something earlier, the announcements. Please pray for my mom. And the video, or the audio about the stuff with Marta, I'm doing tomorrow. I need to get that out of my life, done with, and it'll be done tomorrow. And good riddance on that one. Anyway, thanks for your support. Yeah, my voice a little screwed up, but it has been for a while, but whatever. Take care. Bye.